I'm the hand that motivates the skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming. I'm the hand that motivates the skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Man, I'm taken aback by boxing right now, man. And I just been, really like looking at the game and really really just making some analysis, making some assessments, man. And my whole thing is, man, don't get played. Don't get played, man. I went back and watched the classic with Pacino and Keanu Reeves. And there was a lot of messages in there, man. But it was one part in there where Al Pacino said, "I'm the hand up Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm the one that they don't see coming." And I think a lot of people don't realize, man, either you're on the board or you're watching the game. Either way, you in the play. And I think right now, man, what's so one of the things is you can get many different outlooks. That's a positive. So let's try to start off with a good foot then. One of the things is you can go a lot of places and get a lot of things. As many boxes you can follow, as many sports in this world you can watch, many activities and recreational things that you can do. But everybody knows you don't play boxing. It's a serious sport, man. It's a niche market, right? But I think at some point in time, just like, we can clearly see when boxers lose themselves as fans, I think sometimes we tend to lose ourselves. Yeah. We tend to lose ourselves, and we get off of what we really started off who endeavored to be. It's like when you see those young people who want to just, they want to either preach the word, they be so dedicated and focused, you know what I'm saying? You see people, like myself playing in little league football games, you know what I'm saying? Scoring on the first play of the game, running kickoff back, just and then going up through the ranks, playing on JV, then playing varsity, then playing semi-pro. Like when you're a part of the game, you see everything from a different angle. When you're a part of the game, you see everything on the inside looking out. Then you have your spectator that's on the outside looking in. But I noticed that in the younger years, amateur level, pre-amateur level, youth level, the passion and intensity for everything that's going on is pure. Before them guys make it to the NFL, the ones that play in college, man, the excitement, the tenacity, like not being denied. When you look back over time, you look at the Saquon Barkleys, when you look at Adrian Peterson when he was coming out, when you look at Reggie Bush when he was coming out, when you look at some of these guys, when you look at what Maurice Barrett was doing, it was undeniable, man, what they had and what they possessed. But then when you become to the professional ranks and you get on that big stage or that board, you now a piece. And whether you're on the front row with the rest of the pawns or you with the rooks, the bishops, if you're the king or the queen, or if you started off as a pawn, make it to the other side and you become another piece, you become something different, you on that board. And I think a lot of fans don't realize, man, that it's a board. You know, now whether you actually on that board and you one of them pieces, if you on that front row, yeah, you can make it to the other side and become another piece. You know what I'm saying? But I think on YouTube, I think that you know, most of the categories, there's some people that done made it out of that first row on that chessboard. You know, they might have raided into that back row where they a rook, a knight, a bishop. You know, they might be one of them. They can make some moves. You know what I'm saying? They running in cahoots. But I would say on YouTube, man, everybody on that first row. They on that first row on that pawn. I would say in boxing, the people that's first coming in, they on that first row. They pawns. You know what I'm saying? In all essence of everything, when we look at that, man, it's really it's two kings, it's two queens. And if you reach to the status where you actually become a king, man, you actually have influence, man. But then you had a hand that moved the pieces. You have the hand that's moving the pieces, man. And I think that people sometimes can't really decipher whether or not they are, you know, a piece on that board, a real piece on that board, if they spectating, or if they actually one of them hands moving one of them pieces on that board. And that might go over a lot of people's heads, man, but you heard what that man said. He said, I'm the hand up Mona Lisa's skirt. They didn't see me coming. And I think a lot of y'all don't really see what's going on, man. But, you know, I think a lot of y'all are getting distracted by what's really going on in the sport of boxing right now. And I think that a lot of people don't really realize, man, that we're looking at pieces on the board. Sometimes we don't see that hand. We don't see that hand. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that we take time out, man, and every now and again, man, we take time out, we pull out our compass, you know what I'm saying, and we get our bearings on where we at and where we going. And we strike off and we shoot an azimuth and we keep going forward, man. I think every now and again we need to go ahead and pull out our compasses to see where we at, man, because I think a lot of people, salute to Jeremiah Mayweather. Salute. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining in, man. Feel free to keep chiming in, but I'm gonna get into this thing, man. I really appreciate that. But I think a lot of people don't really realize, man, at some point in time, man, we gotta sit down with our compass and we gotta see where we are. Are you a piece on that board? If so, okay, you playing your part, but you gotta recognize that if you're not a piece on that, if you are a piece on that board, what is your role? If you're a bystander like myself, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes criticizing what's on that board, sometimes admiring what's on that board, but nevertheless observing what's going on in the game. That's where I'm at right now. I'm looking at this thing like, man, I had to reshoot my azimuth. Man, I got so much profound wisdom looking at the sport of boxing, man. I was thinking about how I used to be in love with football. I got an Eagles tattoo on my shoulder. I was in love with football, man. I remember seeing the play with Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying? When I seen that play, man, beast mode, when I seen that Super Bowl, and then when I seen Cam Newton face when he was getting ready to go out to that game when they played Denver, and Denver didn't do anything in that game, man. The Panthers defense was holding it down, man, and my man dropped that ball, and everybody was making a thing about him just looking down at that ball. And it's like, wow, man, like in football, like it's like that old movie when somebody say Fumbalaya, everybody and their grandmother jumping on that ball. A light bulb went off. Reggie, okay, Eagles. Yeah, he said Eagles. Salute, yeah, I'm a diehard Eagles fan, man. And he said Reggie White goated. Yeah, Reggie White, man, ooh-wee, man. I love some Reggie White, man. That man was unstoppable, undeniable. You know, so I think Eric Donald got a little bit in him. Donald, that dude Donald, I think he got a little bit of that in him. But when I'm looking at this game, man, and I see what happened in that game with the Panthers, man, I said, man, it sunk in my bones, man. It hit me deep that, man, it's like, man, this stuff orchestrated. Then I fast forward to what happened with the Falcons. And I see them blow that lead, and I ask everybody when we get in debates, I say, you name anybody, you name any one of these quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, let's just say Deshaun Watson, any one of these quarterbacks, you send them into the half for like a 24, 25 point lead. Is anybody gonna win that game? A solid defense. Not to mind you that year, I think Atlanta was like number 8 in defense. They had the number 1 rushing attack in the game, and they gave up that. And then I look at what happened with the Bengals. Then I look at when we went to the show, and I'm like, man, when Jalen Hurts, when that play happened, when I was looking over at Mahomes and what he was doing and how he was looking, he was snug as a bug in the rug the whole time, and we had that game up handily. We had that game, and I look at the play where he rolled out and just for some odd reason, he just dropped that ball, man, and accidentally kick it. And that was it. That was the beginning of the end. I said, man, what am I witnessing? And it's crazy how in everything, man, we can see how chess pieces and being played on this board, and how, the game is being played, whether we have some pieces on that board, whether we are some pieces on that board, or we're just spectating once again. It's funny how we can see it in everything else. I remember when I found out that wrestling was fake. I stopped watching it. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they say, man, I quit school because of recess. Man, I don't play. And I was like, dang, boxing, we know the history of boxing and we know what's going on, man. But I just think that right now in these conversations, man, it's a whole lot of tribalism going on. There's a whole lot of pieces on this board that's being moved. There's hands that, are moving pieces on this board, and there's things that's happening that people are witnessing and seeing, but because they have a spot on that board, they have an influence on what's going on that board. They can make money off of what's going on that board. Even from the outside looking in, they can make money on what's going on that board. It's just when you have a conversation about boxing right now, it's getting swept away by a lot of he say, she say. I was reminded of that saying that Earl Smith said, and Frank Martin has said it too. He said, tables turn. So when tables turn, I seen somebody channel I admire, man. I always kick in, I always salute. They don't never give them no feedback. I got a hint that they be watching, you know what I'm saying? But, sometimes it might be a rebuttal or something that I done said. So I'm like, okay, maybe they watching. They don't ever say nothing, they don't never comment. But I see how when tables turn, instead of addressing what happened with Shakur and Devin first, they just came out and said that something was going on with the whole Frank Martin situation and how that wasn't what a lot of people are saying it was. Tables turn. And I'm like, okay, well, tables do turn and so do goalposts. That's why I say, man, like, don't be played. That's the theme of this show right here, man. Don't be played, man. Don't be one of them people caught up in the movement, caught up because, it's a whole bunch of numbers going around saying this or saying that. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of numbers that can get behind a whole lot of things and push a whole lot of movements. Is it right, though? I think a lot of times, man, a lot of times people be saying, it's either black or it's white, it's hot or it's cold, it's red or it's blue. And a lot of times in life, it's not. Because if you pro or anti, depending on certain subjects, you can make an argument on either side, especially in life. Pro or anti, especially when it comes to life. It could be a lot of conversation. So in everything, man, we know that it takes discernment. It takes a level-headed person. It takes, judgment. Some people believe in divine judgment. It takes something outside of you and yourself, or something, greater than you, for you to actually really see what's going on. Sometimes you have an awakening. I had an awakening. I found myself, you know what I'm saying, thinking I'm doing like every other fan, just talking about the sport, just following along with what I see, you know what I'm saying. I realized, man, I might be stepping on some toes that's on that board, you know what I'm saying, and I'm just a spectator. So I said, man, you know what? Let me pump my brakes, because when I come online and I open up the computer, if we meet here, it's online. When I shut this computer down and I go on about my way, I'm looking at the world just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't know anybody on here, you know what I'm saying, if we haven't met here before, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at life like everything else out there. And I was, you know, doing a lot of, you know, reflecting on everything. I was doing a lot of like self-inventory on everything. And I'm like, man, you know what, this boxing stuff, this stuff is like a hobby for me, man. It's just one of those things that I figured out that it's a game just like everything else. Even though you can't really play it. Don't get me wrong. It's a game, but you can't play it. You can't play boxing. So we'll go on the ring. You can't play, but it's a game going on. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people use that cliche a lot, and it speaks volumes, but you know, I'm thinking, man, sometimes I get too deep in some of these conversations surrounding boxing. It's like, dang, man, I might be stepping on some toes. Somebody might be controlling this piece over here. Somebody might got a vested interest. You know what I'm saying? You know how it was back in the day, man, when the mob felt like, hey, you know, you might be stepping on some toes, you might be doing this, you might be doing that, man. You know what goes on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I'm a spectator in this sport. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to interfere with your pimping. You know what I'm saying? Pimp on. You know what I'm saying? I had to say, hey, man, you might, if somebody got a good hustle going on and they getting it like that, and that's their, you know, that's their trap. You know, who am I to tell you how to run your trap? Who am I? Who am I to tell you how to run your corner? Who am I to tell you how to pimp your hoes? Who am I? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just a bystander, man. I thought it was all about boxing and boxing talk, and you know what I'm saying, who could get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, you know, when people be fighting pit bulls and stuff, I thought that it was really all about, you know what I'm saying, when them dogs get in that ring and they lock horns and what the outcome is. I think that's really what it was. Who was the alpha dog? Who really want that smoke? That's what I thought it was. But I realized, man, you either on the board or you spectating, but either way, you in the game. Even though you can't play boxing. So for me, man, I'm like, man, maybe I gotta back up out of this thing, man. Maybe I gotta, you know what I'm saying, stay in my lane. Maybe I gotta stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? And just be an observer. You know what I'm saying? Like just speak on, but it's hard when you don't got the footage. You can't use the footage because people want to, you know, give you copyright strikes and, you know what I'm saying, hit you over the head for doing this, and you got to get over here and you got to join this and you got to open this door over here to get over there, or you got to be in cahoots with that person over there. It's like, man, like at the end of the day, I'm an eagle, man. That's why I started with that. I'm an eagle, man. You don't see too many together. You know how powerful they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a pack. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? We all out here with it's eat or eat. It's kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? It's dog eat dog out here. I'm not a stranger to that. I know that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on out here. But when it comes down to boxing, I think that a lot of us are getting distracted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your stance has changed and you came out and you stamped somebody as a creature. I just talked about eagles. I just talked about wolves, and we've been talking about ducks. But if you come out and you stamp somebody as a duck the other day on either side, but you didn't address that the same way in the prior situation, then you, my friend, are being played. Don't get played. Don't be played. Know that you're either observing or if you're on the board. Now, if you're on the board, you're playing the game. I'm not knocking that hustle, man. Pimp your hoes. You know what I'm saying? You know, run your congregation. You know what I'm saying? Get your tithes, get your offerings, do your thing. Who am I? Who am I? I'm not gonna stop nobody. I don't want to interfere with nobody hustle, nobody money. I just thought that it was all about the truth. But I realized this week that people don't like proof and people don't like truth. People don't like proof for truth, man. It's just the sad reality of what we going on, man. So you can have a favorite fighter. You can know he would drag knuckles all across the other fighter's face. Anybody that get in the ring with him, you can know that. But the power of influence in those pieces on that board and the hand that's controlling some of those pieces on that board and some of the people that's spectating, that's paying for their game on them pieces that's on that board. Who am I? I'm just an observer. I'm just an observer. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way. I just thought that, hey, man, I like to uplift boxers. I like to highlight who got talent. I like to put fresh water out here because I noticed that people who look like me, man, we are the best at tearing each other down, man. So only time I really see myself saying something or, you know what I'm saying, trying to pull somebody, you can't really you can't check nobody for real, because people can just get on here and say whatever they want. But whenever I be like, hey, man, that ain't right and exact, man. Oh, you a hater. Look at your, look how many numbers you. I'm like, all right, man, I'm just saying, though, out here, out in the real world, what you saying is, you know what I'm saying, on here, it sound good, but out in the real world, we'll really go down outside. Like when we put all this stuff down and we got to go make money or pay bills or, you know what I'm saying, take care of our children or, you know what I'm saying, grind hard, like out there, though, that principle don't apply. You got to realize, man, don't be played by what the conversations going on in boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a follower. You know, one of our biggest knocks is, man, is that they left us with a reprobate mind. You know what I'm saying? Where you notice how everything is cookie cutter now. Everybody got the answer now. And you can go where, and that answer is absolute, but we know that there's many solutions, there's many answers to the same question. There's different routes to come to the same conclusion. Two things can be true at the same time. So I'm seeing some of my favorite people, man, some of the people that I rock with. They may not rock with me, but I'm seeing some of the people that I rock with, man, flip-flopping, man. And that's not good, man. I see them flip-flopping, and I thought it was some people out here upholding standards around boxing and really seeing it for what it is. But really, you just really part of a tribe, man. And you an echo chamber. And that's cool. You on the board. That's what I'm saying. I'm realizing that there are certain people that's on the board, and I'm like, all right, I didn't realize y'all was on the board. I didn't know y'all was on that piece. Salute. You on that, you made it to the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be on the board. I don't want to be one of them pieces, so I don't look at it like competition because I'm just a spectator. You know what I'm saying? I just thought I was calling it like I see it. Just like, you see something in football and you be like, man, that look a little, you know what I'm saying? Like when I used to watch, I'm like, hold on, man. Did he just fall down? You know what I'm saying? Did he let that man go by? Did he fake a hammy? You know what I'm saying? Like I just thought I was observing that, you know what I'm saying, that you were fake passionate about what really goes on in the sport. I thought that you was really keeping it 100, and that's how you see it, and that's how you stand on this or whatever. Yeah, and that's why I see they say they stand on that square. You on that board, man? I'm not, man. Some of my favorite people, man. I think that some of my favorite people on that board, man. Well, I know they on the board because they in the game, but some of the ancillary pieces, some of the people that I thought were just had like somewhat pure origins, wanted to have a good time, clown, make some memes, you know what I'm saying, talk some stuff, you know what I'm saying, go back and forth about who knocked who out, who got the better jab, who got the better defense. I thought that's what it was about, man, the X's and O's, but I realized, man, it's a game being played, even though you can't play boxing, and you either in the board or you in the stand. Either way, there's some games being played. I think that we need to look at things like this. We celebrate boxers when they fall, you know what I'm saying, when they fall down, when they get locked up, when they get, DUIs, or they run into, personal problems, lose money, you know what I'm saying, just get caught out there. We shame them, you know what I'm saying, but the time where they in there doing everything that the fans want them to do and they're striving for greatness, they don't always get the support. And I just thought that I saw that there was a lot of things going on in the sport that was not beneficial to what we really want. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, you still have a lot of people, or either side. You know what I'm saying? That's either side. Let's just say I played it down the middle. Now I called it. I said the last situation was a duck. The previous situation was not a duck. That's my stance. That's my stance. And that's odd because if I was in the tribalism, it would be totally opposite. That's how I recognize it. But in this last situation, if something was agreed upon and something was moved forward on, and somebody pulled out, traditionally that's a duck. You can't move those goalposts. But if you're only saying that now because you're mad at Shakur and you think that he should have did this with Devin Haney, it's totally different. Everybody keeps saying that. This is how I know people don't like the truth. Everybody keeps saying that Shakur Stevenson turned down 25%. Shakur Stevenson did not, to my knowledge, turn down 25%. He went to the WBC. He got an offer and said, all right, well, I'm going to use my right as a boxer to go to the WBC, and I'm going to petition for them to fix it. Then your man's ran. I don't even understand how this man's name get brought up when I'm like, dang, man, this dude was negotiating with Regis. He was negotiating with Shakur, and they was talking about Tank. Then they was like, when Tank was locked up, they was saying, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? He can't negotiate in jail. I'm like, anybody in that state, they're not going to try to be doing no contracts and be thinking about nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? The man was doing his time. That's what he was doing. So how could he even been part of the deal? But we overlook that, and you let everybody run with it. You know what I'm saying? You let everybody just run with it because they, you know, you can make money. Saying that name, saying Tank name, you know what I'm saying, with the right meme and the right salacious, man, you can make bread. Get your money. Run your hustle. I would never knock somebody else's hustle. Get it. Never. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do. Get your hustle, but don't be played. Don't get played. And that's how I look at things. Now, if Devin did, and then the numbers, nobody can validate those numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny how everybody say the 25%. Why you don't hear nobody say, man, Devin would have made, you know what I'm saying, whatever it was, he would have made. They don't ever say that number. They don't ever say what it would have been. That's how you know it's some one-sided foolishness. So one situation was not like the other. It was not. Whether you want to throw in undisputed and all that other stuff, it was not the same situation. This man said, I'm going to go to the WBC and let them dictate what it was, and they run with a number that was saying 50%. No, they could have established that it would have been 50%, but we know that's not likely. But it's convenient to say that Shakur wanted 50% when he didn't say that. He said he was going to go to the WBC and let them dictate it. It might have been one of them situations where they looked at what, like the Jamel Harris situation where they averaged his last 3 paydays, came up with a number and made a deal. It might have been that, but Devin didn't. He wanted to go up there and fight Regis. He wanted to appear as if he did, and it worked. It worked. That's that L shape on that board. That's that L shape on that board. Devin did an L shape on that board. Like he was straight ahead and bow. Landed at 140. I give him credit because it's Regis. So those are two different subjects. It's like, yes, I can salute Devin and honor him for actually going up there and seeing Regis, because Regis is a tall task, and that's something that I finally wanted him to do. Yeah, selfish on me. That's something I finally wanted him to do. Finally wanted him to fight somebody that was like that he didn't have the weight advantage over, that he didn't have the height advantage over, that he didn't have the size advantage over, that he really didn't have the youth advantage, or all the advantages, you know what I'm saying, on somebody. And as a boxing fan, I'm shamed for that. I can say that about a couple different fighters who've always had the advantage in some or all of either all the advantages or the majority of the advantages. I can name several fighters like that, but when I point that out, I'm knocking one of them pieces on that board. I'm not knocking one of those pieces on that board. I'm making an observation. Don't get played. So he's finally going to go fight Regis. But I don't know how his name is going to be tied with Tank. He's still getting slack. Now, this latest slander is like, and I know it ain't about nothing. It's just somebody, I don't know, man. To me, it looked like self-hate, man. somebody was half black and half Puerto Rican hating on somebody that was half black and half Puerto Rican, to me that would look like hate. That just, I mean, people not even really talking about Regis and Devin because they still slamming Shakur. Shakur supposedly got a fight. Will this fight make it past the finish line with De Los Santos? We don't know. This last back and forth kind of made a boxing fragile. It kind of shook it up. You kind of, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, a stain or a smell might settle, but then you got to ruffle that. You got to ruffle some feathers. You got to shake the pillow. You got to hit that carpet and make it come up so you can get that stench again. I think that's what just happened. You got that stench again. We got that stench again. And it really exposed a couple people. People, oh my gosh, exposed. No, not in the salaciousness, like, oh my gosh, I want you to lose some money. Like, oh my gosh, I want you to feel ashamed. Like, no, it really exposed how people like to move goalposts. Like, it's always gonna be, regardless or not, no matter what Shakur do on his own, he's always gonna be coupled with Bud. It's just like it's almost worse than what was going on with the twins. No matter what one twin did, no matter what Mel did, they was gonna link them in with Maul. No matter what Maul did, they was gonna link them up with Mel. And I keep hearing some of the same fools. I just heard somebody say that they wanted Jamal Charlo to apologize. They were so happy that he apologized to the fans and all this and this and that. I'm like, it's just different right now. We in the Bud Crawford era. I mean, I got things, I got clips. It's dates and times where I seen when Bud came out and said that those fans over there in the UK were the best fans in the world. When did that change? When did he ever retract that? I can't say nothing about that because I'm hating. I'm hating on right now. I'm probably hating on the probably like the second or third biggest piece on that board. That would sound like hate, right? That would sound like hate. No, I'm making an observation. That's aside from me looking at that man like a father, looking at that man like one of the most skilled. That's aside from me actually promoting him. In my boxes to watch, if you look, and this, I had my boxes to watch made up a while ago. There's people that I have on the news segment that I should be introducing in that same video. I already got the thumbnails for them to slide them all together, but there's more people in the boxes to watch that ain't even in that intro. But on that one, he's the closer. Everybody knew what he can do. But now, nobody ever made Bud come on and say, "Oh man, did you really mean that the people over in the UK was the best fans in the world?" Earl ain't never said nothing like that. You can say, "Yeah, Bud got it there and knocked him out," because that's what you want to resort to then. But we don't ever want to keep it down to what these boxers are doing inside the ring. We don't ever keep it there. It's like, no, when we talk about outside the ring stuff, it's like, yeah, but in the ring he not. Yeah, but in the ring, yeah, but outside activity, everybody know that there was some funny movement over there. Everybody know that a lot of the things that Shakur doing right now, a lot of people that's hating on this man is only hating on this man because of their hate for Bud or anything that Bud do. But the fact that he can go up and get tenure or Shakur's, prediction on the Bud and Spence fight. We all know that, man. Don't get played, man, because it's some people, it's some pieces on the board. And pretty much, if it's on YouTube, it's that front row. It's some pieces on that front row on the board. You know what I'm saying? One or two of them made it into another piece, maybe a bishop. You know what I'm saying? But it's mainly all the pieces that's on that board. Now, they on that board. They getting bread. They on that board. But a lot of people on YouTube that's on that front row, man, they treating you like how Bob Erm said, man, when he said, man, you can treat boxing fans like rocks. You can just throw them wherever you want them. Man, that's what's going on with y'all, man. Nobody want to be subjective. Everything is a case by case basis. It's not a if it's not an if then type of situation. That's one of the people that, man, one of the dudes on YouTube, that's all he killed people with. If this, then that. No, that don't even apply. That don't even apply. Because if that's going to apply, then we need more information to come out. Like, we need more documented, more solidified information. If you're going to use that example, then we can decide if the if, then the then. And no, people are grouping it. The hate that people have for Shakur is because of Bud. It's because of him going back and forth with Devin. You know what I'm saying? Devin say, "Hey, that's not a fight. I'm in a rush to." You know what I'm saying? They go back and forth, some agreement time, whatever. Shakur say, "Hey, all right, I'm gonna take this to the WBC," and then he say, "Oh, I know he did that because I know he really don't want to fight me." Nobody would admit that. The man said he wasn't in no rush to fight Shakur. Everybody ignore that. But then when I keep saying that, I'm messing with some pieces on that board. So I gotta be quiet about it. I'm just making an observation. Nobody trying to stop nobody money or do nothing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? This is a boxing observation. This is a boxing conversation. That's what's going on, man. The people that are right now, the people that are old now. I say that what Frank did was a duck. I say that. I rock with Frank. I'm man down. I say that. In traditional terms, if you make an agreement, you pull out no matter what happened, you know what I'm saying? Because people could say, oh man, that was, yeah, but I say that was strategic, dog. That was just, so what it was, so it was in some shape, form, or fashion, if you want to use that word, I don't know why everybody's so offended. It's not like he won't fight him. That's two different things. He will. For whatever reason, he decide, hey, I'm going another way. Now, what I'm cautioning fans right now to do is you got to look at this, because everybody's automatically assuming that, well, because I've heard many, faces, I've heard different stations repeating this, that if he did that, it must be bigger and better plans. He must be getting a tank fight. Well, I was watching the Rise in them, you know what I'm saying, the other day. Salute to them, you know what I'm saying. I got love for them, you know what I'm saying. They doing wonderful things out here in Baltimore for the youth. You know what I'm saying? They say love over hate. I had to start listening to them because a lot of stuff I say be sound like hate. It ain't hate, it's an observation. But salute to them. They say that, you know what I'm saying? I seen Coach Kenny, he was like, nah, that ain't, we ain't heard nothing about no Frank. So I'm like, but if you continue on the path that you're doing with Frank, okay, admit that that's a cut. Strategic, dog. All right, I thought that it was going to be this or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want to say money, whatever it was, whatever category you want, move on. Move on. That's what it was. It was a duck. It was that move on. That don't mean we don't rock with Frank no more. That means Frank got bigger and better things, but then we got confirmation that it's not Tank. So the people that want to continue because they all on the Shakur bandwagon, they love Bud, they hate Errol, they hate PBC, they hate all this. People that want to continue on that bandwagon and berate Frank, no matter when Frank get in front of one of these guys, y'all are going to diminish his value. What he did to his value alone, that's yet to be seen. Because just like Devin and not fighting Shakur, Devin is fighting Regis. So yes, you can say to me that's like what he did when he didn't wait for the WBC and at least see what was going on. Because that Regis fight, that wasn't going to push back the line or timeline because that was still subject to availability on one hand. That wasn't going to do anything with that. If he would have said, all right, I'm going to see what they say about the money, I'm going to see what WBC say about it, it might have been like 5% more. Everybody want to lump in the whole fact that it was 4 undisputed and all this and all that. But if that fight was going to go down, it was going to be broadcasted the right way, and that could have been a big fight. Whether it'll be as big as it will be in a year or two from now, and that's a whole different subject. But he could have sat there and waited. He could have said, all right, well, what is it that you don't want? You don't like the quote-unquote 25%, even though I don't stand on there was no 25%. It don't sound right. It sounds foolish. It's somebody that made up, somebody that got over here, saw this, converted that over here, and fed it to 1,000, you know what I'm saying, zombies who just out here just 25%. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ran with it. But anyway, he could have waited. But even though I say that that's the fact that he's fighting Regis, I'm like, oh, okay then. You want to get a belt, you don't got to deal with the weight thing. Regis is he's a champion. He's the one at 140. Hey, I'm no problem. Hey, I'm saluting. I'm trying to push and amp that fight up. But people that's all on that jock strap is sliding down on Shakur or you know what I'm saying, still kicking tank. And I'm just like, man, he gave us 2 fights. If your fighter ain't fought twice this year, be quiet right now. Not saying this man can't do whatever he wants, but if your fighter ain't fought twice this year, just be quiet and wait to see what's going down the pike. You on that board. You making about the most money on that board right now. So just like since we playing game and it's all about money, just for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Stop pocket watching. Be true to case by case and basis. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can reference other cases in court, but let's do it case by case. So in that case, because he's going to go fight Regis, that made the duck of Shakur acceptable in my book. You duck Shakur to fight Regis. I can't argue with you. You establishing more legacy at 140. You already did. You already got undisputed at 135. I figure, hey, why would you ever risk damaging your reputation at 135 because you already clean, pristine? It wouldn't make no sense for you to take any risk unless it was like Brinks truck breaking money, and that was not that at that time. Was it a duck? Yes. Do I understand it? Yes. All you had to do was come on and say, hey man, it don't even make sense for that. I'm gone. That's it. You ain't gotta stand at that, man. Especially if y'all used to be friends. I come all, hey, well, he ain't did nothing. Oh, hey, he ain't never did nothing to him. He's just a snake. Like, no, y'all just want to come out with pitchforks and ride down on whoever. And it's almost like the Klan when they do it. You know what I'm saying? But we just do it to each other. He's going up to 140. He got a pass. Frank said, all right, well, shoot. For whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? All right, not now, Shakur. After the agreement, I see that as a duck. He gonna have a bigger and better move. Or Kenny said that ain't Tank. But if his next move is something, we gotta see what the next move is, so we can be like, oh, okay, well, shoot, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're not even doing that. We just want to keep riding around and what everybody say, being zombies, being followers, not thinking outside the box. And we're distracted by the fact that we got 2 good fights coming up. We got Regis and Devin, and we got De La Santos, somebody that want the smoke, who's been chasing after Shakur, chasing after Isaac Pitbull Cruz, chasing after Colbert. But we get that fight. We get Shakur and De La Santos. Now everybody want to just slide down on De La Santos. That means you continue to ride on Shakur, you continue to ride on Tank, you continue to ride on Frank. Then you're going to devalue them, and then the suits, the people that really move those pieces on that board, they're going to listen to y'all and spectate like, oh, y'all want to see that? Oh, they got enough zombies that said they don't want to see that. We're not even going to care. That's what's happening now. Don't get played, because when Isaac Pitbull Cruz fought Tank, everybody who just hated Tank wanted to, put out this rumor or this narrative that, oh, he Pitbull really won, or Tank really did it, or he really wasn't there, or Tank was scared after that because he said he didn't want the rematch right away. Y'all ran with it because you hated that guy so much that you can't get narrative that it needed to be seen again. But wake up. If it come down the pipe, we got to see it again. Stop complaining, because that's what y'all did. Y'all planted those seeds, and this is about to be the harvest. Don't get played. And this is what y'all gonna do. Oh man, we want to see this. We want to see everybody who y'all don't really want to see, who y'all really want to see, but because he's not your favorite guy, you can't make money off of him. You're not gonna promote him. You're gonna demote him in every video. You're not even promoting your favorite fighter. People don't even promote Devin Haney. They just shit on everybody else that opposing to him or got any chance or any remnants, or if they had a conversation, they sat down and got coffee together. That's all they do. Take those batteries out your back. I understand you on the board. I'm not knocking your hustle. I mean, you could be getting it even. You can be getting it even better if you just looked at it a different way. But who am I? That's not my hustle. That's not my. I'm making an observation. I don't want. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making an observation. Man. Like it's games being played. Some of us are spectators. Some of us, not me. Some of us are on the board in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking it, because if you're on the board, you get into the picture. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, as people that are observing it, being observational, they want to have channels that sustain themselves, because you can always have to go back, or you either can become a flip flop, or you're gonna get somebody that's more sensational. You're gonna come out and drop all kind of stuff and show all your idiosyncrasies, and how you flip flop back and forth, which means that you have a congregation, you're sharing the sheep. You know what I'm saying? You're doing you pimp slapping your hoe, which means you're doing a good job. Most bishops turn into what they say. Most pimps turn into bishops. You on the board. I'm not knocking that hustle. What's up, man? Yeah, so I'm just saying, man, don't get played by, you know what I'm saying, trying to like, at the end of the day, man, we wanted, it was Devin, Tank, and Shakur. We thought it was Devin and Tank. You can find yourself on one side being an extremist. Glad to catch you in the live, brother. Salute, man. And John, one of my day ones, man. Salute, man. I salute you, man. I salute you. Me and him don't agree on everything, but he one of my day ones. See how he still rock with me, you know what I'm saying? See how he still rock with me. That's what I'm about, man. You one of my day ones. We don't agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, I wanted to see Devin and Tank. That's what I had my mindset on. I could look at it in a many different ways and say, hey, man, yeah, Devin ain't going to at 35 after he got undisputed and then got Lomachenko on his resume, got out by the hair of his chinny chin chin. It wouldn't make no sense for him. Right, because this is just boxing, not OnlyFans. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Not OnlyFans. But I was looking at it like, man, it wouldn't make sense for Devin to stay at 135 and risk his reputation after getting undisputed, defending it, and then getting Lomachenko. And I had to respect the fact that I said maybe, because I wasn't looking at it like that, I said, man, maybe I am hating a little bit, because we gotta realize, man, like Lomachenko like 11 years older than Devin. Think about this. Lomachenko like 11 years older than Devin. That was like a childhood dream for Devin. So I was just like, man, nobody want to see him get washed. Not looking at it from the perspective that this was that man's childhood dream. Who am I to say don't go after your dream? He pulled it off by the hair of his chinny chin chin doing that body work. But who am I to sit on your childhood dream? That's his childhood dream. So in a sense, yeah, I can say I was hating. I didn't look at it like that. So now it made sense as to why you're not going to risk anything at 35. You're going to go to 140 and continue this. My whole thing was, all right, well, Shakur and Tank and all that stuff, leave that alone. But as fans, they've made a mission statement to fully attach Devin's name to Tank. They still pull him back down. They still talking about the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he get all that flack. All Devin had to do was just say that. I mean, Church told us he was moving up to 140. He told us that. All Devin had to do was say that, because we understand it. But the people that stand to gain money or scared to look like, oh man, that makes too much sense. Scared to look soft, scared to look weak, scared to tell the truth. It will make them look like, oh, I'm inconsistent. Because I base my stuff on being consistent. It's not being inconsistent if you move along with the sport and you calling it how you see it right down the middle. Not because you know what kind of pancakes he eat. You know how many thread counters on his bed sheet. You should hear these, man. You should hear these. Oh, it was in the back of the Maybach, man. We was in the back. Yeah, he pulled off in the back, like, man, you always calling somebody a D rider for real? Like, man, you sat on them couch. You sat on that couch. I'm just saying, I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking the fact that you on the board, homie. I don't know what piece you are. I think you're still in the front row, but you on the board. Get your money. Pimp your hoe. You know what I'm saying? Pass that offering plate around. You know what I'm saying? A couple times. Make sure you get your tithes, make sure you get your offering. You know what I'm saying? If not, put back on your pimp hand and go slap your hoes until they keep giving you more money. I'm not knocking that. I'm just making an observation. So I'm not doing the tribalism thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not part of no tribe. I'm affiliated. I'm not even affiliated, but I got love for different, people in different places. I get different nuggets. I know I like hearing them when they talk about these people. I like hearing this content creator when he's talking about this. I like hearing this guy when he's talking about this. Once in the blue, this guy over here be on some shit. You know what I'm saying? That I rock with. Other than that, I don't have to rock with everything. I don't want everybody to rock with me. You come over here to hear how I see things. I go over there to see how y'all see things. And then I come over here and I put out content and do everything based on the pulse that I get, the truth that I see. I'm not on the board. So I don't have no reason to. I don't even know if I want to be on the board. I just like boxing. I'm in love with boxing, but I'm starting to see that some of these pieces, some of the hand that's moving these pieces, they're playing up. So I say, don't blindly follow nobody, man. Don't blindly just put a whole jacket on somebody because of this situation and that situation. Like, no, man, that's like, in a sense, because if we all look like this, in a sense, it's all self-hate because I've said this before. A lot of times we knock why somebody like myself will go look at somebody like an Ellie in his videos. Like, why would he be all on Ellie video? Why would he be looking? Because he interviews the boxers that I watch, the boxers that I rock with. Ain't nobody else covering them. Everybody else is figuring out a reason why not to support. It's so funny that on his comeback, Jamal gotta apologize to fans. Canelo ain't gotta apologize for dancing with his daughter like that. Jamel gotta apologize for being, you know what I'm saying, aggressive or, showing his emotions. Like, so we apologizing for who we really are now. When everybody done says something on YouTube that somebody can get offended by, some people do it religiously every day. Some people still dressing men up as women. They calling themselves straight. They don't gotta apologize. Ain't nobody gonna check them. Ain't nobody gonna pimp slap them. It's just however you get your money. Be careful how you get your money, man. Be careful how you get those likes, man. Be careful of what kind of energy you put out because it's gonna come back. It's like this cruise seed. Y'all did that when y'all started that snowball all about how because you didn't like Tank, you didn't like Floyd, you didn't like whatever. You were just hating for that reason. Y'all planted that seed for this cruise fight a long time ago. And y'all been watering it ever since. We getting ready to get a harvest and everybody saying, I don't want to see that. I mean, I didn't want to see it after the first one. I wanted to see Tank and Devin. Tank and Shakur and Devin. That's what I wanted to get closure. But now Devin in a whole different bracket. He up there in some bigger waters. He's doing legacy type things. And for me to just go out my way to hate on him now, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't make no sense. What his fans say, you know what I'm saying, whatever, some of the stuff that his dad say, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. He's on that board. I ain't not gonna hustle. You gotta promote how you promote. I just know that there was a Ray Russell. He did good promotion. Never seen or heard him doing anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence, I've seen him all the time. Never seen or heard him do anything like that. Even Kenny Porter being who he is, I ain't never seen him or I ain't never seen Kenny Porter passing out nobody mugshot. I didn't never see Kenny Porter passing out Earl car wreck. Like, he was talking about the accident, but I didn't see him doing anything to degrade. I didn't see none of that. Those are all fathers in the game doing the game how it should be. I didn't see none of that. But when I point out something else about another one of the people on the board, I'm a hater. Cool. just know that we all see things different, and it's when you shut this down and you go outside, that's a whole different world, man. Like, so this is really boxing, so you can kind of start seeing people's views and how they really think and how they really, but they don't really. It's a character, like everybody now when they come on here and they get on here, they're being character. Everything is up for debate. You don't really know, and now. Fast forward to a conversation. I was watching the channel, man. They said that a situation went down, and they named off all these names that was all in the same place at the same time. And I'm like, well, if all them names was at the same place at the same time, and it wasn't no real smoke, all this stuff that's going on online is just, you know what I'm saying? It's popping popcorn. And then we do have people. Because every now and again, somebody will slip up. Sister Seth was in my DM saying, man, let's go at each other. Let's create this. You got that going on. Don't be played. Don't be played. Don't be played. This manufactured beef, this manufactured drama. Like when you look at the whole Envy and Tyrese and all that, that's manufactured. That's to keep relevancy. Even at the sake of Envy, his name is DJ Envy. Envy. We overlooked that. We overlooked that. Who would ever in their right mind lay there and let that, like, who would? It's entertainment. It's a hustle. That's going on in boxing. Don't get played. Don't get played, man. Use your boxing mind. You know what I'm saying? To take boxing action and use your boxing mouth to say something, man. Call it how you see it. That's what we do out there. We don't do that online. You know what I'm saying? I say that it's a lot of good fights coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got boxing is giving us hope. Boxing is giving us hope. It's a lot of good up and coming boxers, man. Remember, before people really get that crown, just like before that college player, it's different because boxing is a lot serious. But before that NFL contract, there's some of these boxers that still living and still pursuing boxing as if they about to get that NFL contract. Only in boxing, growing up, the odds are tremendously different of having success in boxing. All it takes is one punch to revolutionize your whole world, your whole existence. There's still some bosses out here training, eating right, studying old film, living a boss's lifestyle. They might not be as social media savvy or friendly, but they're dedicated to the sport and they deserve more attention. You know, O'Hara Davies deserve more attention for going out the rolling and the stuff that's going on. Bivol, you know what I'm saying? I said, did they age Jamal out? Are they aging Dimitri Bivol out? They froze him out. They have him frozen. But we got people jumping on that bandwagon, and I know that the whole he ain't nothing special, he just an average regular. That's that whole political thing. Because if you can do that, people are connected out. Like, oh well, yeah, you don't have to rush this. That's that whole political thing. The stuff that I don't have a stomach for. I don't like politicians. You know what I'm saying? I don't like politicians. And depending on what side of the law you on, I don't like lawyers. Depending on what side of the law you on. That's that political stuff where, you know, you can show your political ties to something else. But what's going on with Dimitri Bivol right now is wrong. But it's political. And again, I'm speaking on the chessboard and some pieces that's on that board. I'm just making an observation. I don't get your money. I'm just saying that me as a boxing fan, with Dimitri Bivol in my boxers to watch as the Matador, I like to see him more against some of the elite competition. Right now, he's being frozen. He deserves attention. I was already saying that Jamal hooking up with Roy Jones wasn't getting no attention. And then I see some stuff about how he came out and he you know, people were happy about him apologizing. Then they want to talk about, people always want to talk about how, you know, oh yeah, man, the strong black man, the strong black, you know, assertive, confident man. It's a threat. It's a threat. And now we got black people picking and choosing which boxers gotta apologize for what they say and do. When they never got the support and they always got, hey, I don't like his personality. I don't like the way his hair is. I didn't like the fact that he said this about Deontay Wilder. I didn't like this, but you can't say you don't keep the fuck about everybody. You just need the support. You just need to be able to come back and do his thing with your support. Roy Jones need to be able to be on his side if that's what he took on. He need to get a victory. Celebrate both of them black dudes. We need to celebrate the fact that, okay, Frank still, he came out and said, I ain't duck nothing. He still got the energy. For whatever reason, we still need to celebrate Frank. Moving on. Shakur got a big, tall task in hand. Because you think De La Santo's coming in there for what? Sit down and play footsies with him? No. He's going in there to try to spark that man. He trying to make a statement. That's a big fight. That need attention. Without all the other stuff surrounding it. Devin and Regis. Devin's fans is called like following. They said this man is Mr. 36 minute. Regis is taking the 36-minute challenge. Regis said, I'm stopping Devin Haney. We just said I'm stopping Devin Haney. We need that fight promoted and built up. We need Devin numbers to get up. But see, instead of promoting Devin the way they do, they trash everybody else to suppress everybody else's value when it could be uplifting Devin and raising up his value. So that it wouldn't be no mystery as to whether the numbers make sense. And don't get sidebarred by, well, it makes too much sense for Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia was the champion. Oh, no, that's the difference. Oh, well, he moved him up. That's different. Paul was moving up to fight Devin, so he wouldn't have. Come on. They moved those goalposts. But if we keep the equity in the boxers and we don't get sidebarred by whether or not Hector Garcia made sense, why Ryan was good or not, because there was a whole lot of people down in Vegas thought that Ryan had a chance. A whole lot of people, just like that Cruz rematch, there was a whole lot of people that ran around saying, man, Ryan might spark. I was the only one saying Ryan ain't ready. And since y'all keep talking, since he pulled out on him, let's get it on. Even though I know what's going to happen. They got it on. They got a big bag. Tank did his thing. We still got no credit. So if it do happen to be Tank, if Frank and Tank, if it happen to be that way, which we have no indication that it will be, if it happen to be, Tank ain't gonna get no credit for that. The other side of that equation is, for me, one of the things that they praised and how they did, everybody was laughing when Devin said it. This is how I know y'all don't really rock with. This is how I know y'all, most people that say they rock with Frank that just shitting on support right now, this is how I know they really don't rock with Frank. Because when Devin chimed in talking about this man was still a 28-year-old prospect, and really, I don't even know if he said contender. I think he said, you still a 28-year-old prospect. Everybody was like, he, ha, and everybody was doing that. And Frank's defense, and Frank was like, still, you know what, Frank basically said, I'll stop you. This is the whole thing. It was a good clap back by Devin for Devin fans. It was witty. It was comical. It was a good little, you know what I'm saying, I stunned him, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I'm stunned. I got all the power. That was good in that aspect. But if we remove that ever happening, somebody else said that about Frank, and you look at an opportunity for him to fight for however much it was. I'm not pocket watching. I don't care. It could have been $9 million. If he agreed to fight for $9 million at some point, and it was for that belt, you got to think that was going to be for a belt. He's 28. Tank is where he at, but Tank running. Tank is, you know what I'm saying? Tank done been up and, he been in weight divisions, and he done fought this. He don't get no credit for not always being the taller, not always being he always pretty much shorter and with the shorter reach. He's pretty much always that. So he's always fighting at a disadvantage. Never get credit for that. Never get credit for that. So they was not going to give Frank no credit for Tank. So At this stage, if that's not for a belt, then that other route or that other way, I think that Frank might not have as many opportunities for mistakes right now at this stage. So mentioning the age thing is relevant because that was for a belt. I don't think he should have walked away from that. I don't. I think he should have went and got that belt, win, lose, or draw. It'd have been better because if he win against Shakur, that builds the fight. And like, oh dang, man, he the first one to ever do that to Shakur. Even if he was the first one to knock him down, the first one to buzz him. You know what I'm saying? The first one to really give him some real adversity. That would have been a win. That would have been a bag, a win, and that was for the belt. And since the guy that you fought was so high ranked, depending on how you lost, if it was really a decision, you might, even if you didn't come up, or you could have shocked the world and stopped him or got the belt. That makes the fight or the equity in Frank and whatever he was going to do, that made it even better. I'm not going to get off into politics. There's people that can talk politics all day, you know, talk about the law and use all these big terms and whatever, and y'all just going to just float and go by, you know what I'm saying, and not really hold them accountable for some of the things that they say and how those goalposts move, depending on who they favor. You're not going to do it. That's why I'm here to do it for you. Some body work. I don't agree with that move that Frank did. The age thing is a factor. His next move can wipe all of this stuff away, even though it's away from me because Shakur's on another fight is going on. It ain't no reason to berate Frank. It ain't no reason to just drag his name down through the mud. There ain't no reason to keep shitting on Shakur about the Frank. It ain't no reason. It's big. It's somebody right there that's getting ready to go down. Now we got to figure out who Frank's fighting, and we got to figure out when is this Tank Cruz thing going on. Because according to what I'm saying, it ain't gonna be Frank and Tank. And I'm already prefacing everybody. Today, September the 16th at 12:09, that if that fight ever take place, as Tank fans, you will have nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? When Tank stopped Frank. Frank might make me eat my words like when I picked Earl against Bud. Frank might make me eat my words. I don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that and stuff happening. Frank might make me eat my words. But I rock with Frank. I'm one of the ones saying, hey, man, I want to see what's going on. I'm going to promote him anyway. I'm not part of anything, so I don't stand to gain anything. I don't stand anything to gain. I'm not getting no new friends. I'm not going to go link up. I'm not doing all that. So I don't stand anything to gain by telling the truth. That's why I try to spread it out and show love, man. But we got some good things going on, man. I still want to know what the answer is, Frank. We got some good fights coming up. I was gonna put. I got another thing. I had this done months ago. But this is another thing where it comes down to affiliation. Shadeja Green, she's one of my favorite fighters, and she's also along with Ammo Williams and Richardson Hitchens. I got them in the DNA of the champion. I have Shushu in there as well, but he's also Shushu in the box to watch. Richardson Hitchens in the box to watch as well, but my DNA of a champion is going to feature. I like Shadeja Green. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like I'm not really big on the novelty boxing because I think fighters not fighting each other opens up a space where people who are willing to fight for the money in the bag, using their social media following. Again, you can't knock no hustle by people doing that. I'm not, but I'm a traditionalist in the sense that I like people who have, registered and licensed hands, people who have, have been training, like how I would have been had I, made it to the league. All that time I have put into playing football, I would have been tenured and seasoned in it. I like that brand of boxing, but the fact that she is associated with it, I gotta like it. I gotta support it. I'm gonna support her. So I gotta like it. But she's one of the ones that's in my DNA of a champion. I want to start highlighting more, but it's kind of crazy because a lot of the stuff I want to do is I want to use more and more of the footage. But since the channel got monetized, I got to figure out how I can use it without getting copyright strikes. A lot of people will they'll hate on you. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody. I was accused. I heard somebody. It was speaking subliminals. Somebody out there was trying to say that I was doing something like using somebody's clips and how that. Little did they know that person was on my channel. Little do they know when that person was doing that or started doing that, they was over on my channel and we were talking about how they was doing it to both of us at the same time. I'm just not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that out there. I got it. But people love like this same dude also was on there talking about how he is a hater. He's like, yeah, I am a hater, man. I gotta admit, I do be hating. It's like, yeah, you be jacking. A lot of big channel, a lot of them pieces on them boards, especially them pieces on that board I be talking about that's on that front row, converted over to maybe a bishop. You know what I'm saying? They might have got to the back row. You know what I'm saying? Might be a knight or a bishop. Maybe a rook, I don't know. Might have made it there, you know, by status. They bite little channels, man. They bite little channels, and because they got the numbers, they bite the content, they bite the thoughts. They might not put it right out, but you know, a day or two later, 3 days later, they might put it out there. And I'm not knocking your hustle, but you know what I'm saying, be honest, because you'll do that and you'll see promising somebody up and rising, you'll never say nothing. You'll bite and get off their content and do everything that they do, like mimic them, almost like you got an outline of what they're doing. You'll do it on your channel, and then when they blow up or they say something about it or say to you, "Oh, see, you want to hate?" Like, no, this is the game, though. I'm not knocking it. I'm making an observation. You made it. If you made it as one of them pieces on that board and you getting money, I understand it's a hustle. I'm just an observant. Don't get played. Thanks for everybody who rocked with me, man. I thought somebody might come on here and have some smoke. Maybe want to chop it up with me, man. Aaron Jones, Jeremiah Mayweather. I salute y'all for actually coming out, man. Thanks for everybody who support the content. It's a lot. I rock with a lot of different boxers. I'm one of them ones that if we sit down and we speak objectively about what's going on with this boxing and that boxing, I can keep it right down the middle and have an argument both sides and try to keep it balanced where you're not being extreme about it. That's what you get here at Bodywork Boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody who came in and rock with me, listen. You might catch the playback. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that as well. Always open for ideas and all that. I got my little set schedules and times and things, you know what I'm saying, that I want to do and information I want to put out as these fights either get postponed or pushed back or announced. I got a lot of things that that's on that I have outlined, but I'm always open to collabing, or I wanted to do a hot seat. And I want to start doing Fanboy Fridays where you get up there and you just, without saying no names, you just tell me the funniest fanboy comments you've seen. You know what I'm saying? That could be, don't use no names to keep the integrity of it. But I'm about to start doing Fanboy Fridays where I start going through comments and highlighting the most fallacious fanboy comments, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, I'm here having fun, man. I just thought I'd make some observations, man. I'm just here to say don't get played. You know what I'm saying? Try to have responsible boxing talk. Try to uplift these boxers if we can. Try to, maintain some of the equity, because sometimes we could be our own worst enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I was behind Cater Plant. Cater Plant, I was pulling. I'm like, man, they trying to say you just, the great white hype, I'm like, nah, he ain't great white hype, I'm behind it, you know what I'm saying? I like him, I like the personality, I like the skills and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really see, if you got the skills to pay the bills, I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I just like, sometimes I like to highlight some of the things I see, you know what I'm saying, amongst us, how it don't make sense. But then that's hate when I'm really just telling the truth. Those are my closing words, y'all. Thanks for everybody who came out and listened to me once again. Here at Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.